episode 1 of Jail. JP, Andre, Ignacio, and Les. Four friends who have been close for over 25 years, who live in different areas. I mean, every time we get together, it feels like we're in the same neighborhood. So, I mean, we just feel like we wanted to make a YouTube channel, kind of discuss things, everything we've been through about family, career, sports, Delano, because that's where we're from. So, yeah, so welcome, fellas. Let's get this going.
Man, feels good to be here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Episode one. We want to talk about a recap of 2020. Everyone knows about COVID. We're going to talk about that. But the first thing that we thought that we should talk about was the death of the iconic Kobe Bryant. Because I think he kind of, since we're all big basketball fans, I think that was kind of a big hit. And at least I'm not even a Laker fan, and it hit me hard. So, what's up with you guys? How did you guys feel? And what were you guys when it first happened?
Shoot, I was at the gun range, and it got dead silent, like almost like at once. And gun ranges, indoor gun ranges, you're not supposed to take off your hearing, right? You can't do that; you get kicked out. Everybody took it off, and I was like, "What's going on?" I took off my headphones. I heard somebody say, "Hey, you heard Kobe died?" And I was like, "Who's he talking about?" And then my sister texted me and was like, "Andre, did Kobe Bryant die?" And I was like, "No way," because that's two different people, two different areas, don't even know each other. Mm. And so I pull up Twitter because that's where all the latest information is at. And so I got the news and I was like, "Wow!" And it was just quiet inside of a gun range. And I walked outside. I mean, a friend of mine, I was just in disbelief. And then my phone started blowing up. But that's what my experience was. I remember exactly what I was wearing too.
That's crazy.
But how about you guys?
At home, when that happened, I was like, I just seen it pop up on ESPN, and that's when they. I'm not a Laker fan either. I was the biggest Kobe hater, but I still respected his game though. But I know that was a big loss in the basketball community. That's for everybody. And I know it affected you too. I know, Drake, because I know you're like, a big Kobe fan. So. But that's how I found out about the whole Kobe death.
Yes, it was kind of strange when it happened. Kind of one of those events. Definitely, you remember exactly where you're at. That was a Sunday midday. That took place, and I was holding my daughter. Actually, we didn't go to church that day, and we were moving a little slow in the morning, and I just saw it on the news, and it just like I was kind of shocked to go tell my wife. I felt like almost like a family member. It kind of like a family member passed away. Like I didn't know how to tell her. And then I remember walking in the room and like getting a little emotional. She was like, "What happened?" Like I was like, "Man, Kobe." They say no. And at that time they didn't know what happened, right? They were like, all the kids, and me at that time not really a hardcore Laker fan. I ride with Orlando Magic, but we kind of like the East Coast Lakers because all of our players gone out west come to the Lakers. I was like, man, it just kind of hit. And I think Kobe hit hard because, Kobe, he's like MJ and he's a great basketball player. But, man, those couple of years with Kobe with his daughter, having a daughter, or just seeing how he was a family man, how much he was pushing as a father. He was helping out the WNBA, and he was just his mentality. I think we learned more about Kobe's mentality. I think that a lot of people can gravitate to him. So it made me definitely, I respect Kobe and everything they've done. And since then, man, I can't root against the Lakers, man, to be honest. Like I said before, it was good to be a champ. Glad I got on beginning of the season. Not a repeat, baby. But definitely mama, baby.
I feel you on that, man. Like y'all know, I'm not nowhere Laker fan, and I always hated on Kobe, but I respected him. And I same thing, when I first found out, I found out by myself. I was alone. And I didn't believe it. We had texts from you guys everywhere. I was like, TMZ. I was like, I don't believe it. And then when I saw it on CNN, that's when I was like, oh, it is true. Like, I didn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it, right? Even though I'm not a Kobe fan, I didn't want to believe it because of who he was. Until I saw it on CNN. And not only that, but how he passed, and it just hit me hard. Like, and you were right. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew, you know, what he did off the court, but I didn't really know the type of person he was and the type of father he was, you know, until afterwards. And then that made me more sad, man. I was at work crying. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Good thing I have my own office. Like, I was watching TV, you know, and people, you know, asking me, hey, go fix my computer. And I couldn't walk out of my office because I was crying. I was like, hold on, give me like 5 minutes. I'm watching something here about Kobe, you know? So, no, yeah, I mean, and y'all, you know, Dre, you a Kobe fan, so I'm pretty sure it hit you even harder.
No, yeah, it's still hard to like go in depth too much about it. Even like when I watch like highlights or something like that, it still kind of bothers me. But like I think it's because, you know, 1996 when he got drafted, we were 8th graders. You know what I mean? And like being 8th grade all the way to what, 3 years ago, you know, you feel like you grew up with them. You know, like you kind of like you watched everything. Especially if you're a Laker fan, you watched the games. You know, he was, you know, him and Eddie Jones running the wings back in the day. All the way to, you know, like his last game. You know, that's a long time. 20 years in the league. I mean, think about it. How old were we 20 years ago? We got to rate each other out, but
you know, 20 years in the league on the same team. I mean, that's
it's just part of. I mean, he's like, you watch him in your living room every single day, just about.
Yeah.
And you got to respect the guy, man. I mean, I think his mentality. I mean, that's what I kind of respect the most is his mentality of success. Of course, you know, what's more important, you know, him being a father and the type of father he was. We all know what he did with the Lakers, right? But like, I think his mentality of success and how he approached success and how to be successful, that is what I look up to. And that's what I try to, like I said, I'm not a Kobe fan, but I'm over here saying like, let's go, Mamba mentality. You know what I'm saying? Because I like that mentality. So, I mean, that's how great he was. You know, he made a guy who doesn't even like the Lakers cry when, you know, of his passing because of the type of person he was. So.
Yeah.
When after he passed in the first game of the season, not the season, but the first game after his passing, that was hard to watch too. Like, oh man, I was sitting like,
I was at work, man. I was crying. I was like, oh no. I was like, restart your computer. I can't go out there right now.
They were singing the national anthem, bro. I seen like a lot of the players. That like the day he passed, and they made the players keep playing. Like you saw players just balling on the court, and then like you saw like, and then the first game after he passed for the Lakers, the national anthem. It was hard watching watching the players get together.
Yeah,
and there wasn't a dry eye in the stadium and in the arena.
There were a lot of his old teammates were there too, right? Like in the arena, right? Like that were there. But yeah, me too. Like I wasn't the biggest Kobe fan. I was more of a hater. You know, I didn't want him to be like compared to Jordan, but I mean, he was kind of there. Like because Jordan, we grew up with. I mean, in our generation, we grew up with Jordan and others. You know, that was their Jordan. So like, I understood like how that went about. You know, because a lot of people looked up to him and stuff. And regarding his mentality too, like he got to where people can be able to push themselves farther from what they could. So that takes a lot.
Yeah, and I think like Drake kind of mentioned it. Like when I think about Kobe, we kind of didn't watch him for 20 years right in front of us, grow up. Like from 18, the crossover in Vegas, the dunk, the air balls in Utah. Even if you weren't a Kobe fan, you saw the Laker game. And now that you watch his career, you're kind of like, I watched all that and I watched that live. And I think that a part of us, one way or another, just being basketball fans, just from knowing the game and watching the game. So definitely, after 20 years of watching him play, you can definitely, I don't know, man, you feel a connection. You definitely feel the connection. And the 3 years after being a father, like the shots for him and Gigi get me. They still get me. And like, my favorite number was always number 2. I wore number 2 when I was with stuff like that. I always like.
Yeah, I remember you in football. You wore number 2.
Yeah, and I always like. I don't know. It was kind of like I wasn't like. I don't know. I just embraced number 2. Dion wore number 2 in college. I just thought it was a cool number. And then his daughter wore it, and then I don't know. Like I said, it was just the daughter part really got me. Those shots of him walking into the Laker game, the last Laker game they went together. The one they watched Trae Young play in Brooklyn, and they were talking
Atlanta.
Atlanta,
where he's coaching.
Yeah, man. Like
that was tough.
But it kind of like it's tough, but it kind of like you're right. The mama mentality helps, man. Like now every day working with your own kids, going to work, you kind of understood his mentality because you saw him in 20 years. He wasn't perfect. There was times people didn't want to play with Kobe, right?
Right.
We all know what happened in Colorado. We know he was 8 and 24. We also saw him grow up. So I think that was like a comeback story. Like we as people love to see people come back, and he was giving back. Like the WNBA, NBA, working with all these new guys. And I think, like you said, we learned more about his heart and his mentality. Can't hate him. You know what I mean? Right. Even if he was one year, people are like, just give it to them, man. Like they deserve it. Like, I can't root against the Lakers not this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a story that Ramona Shelburne did on Kobe a while back, and it was with when he played Tracy McGrady. It was when he first started being known as a Black Mamba, and he had like I want to say like 6 or 8 points in the first half, and she talked to him during halftime. And he was like, "Look," he said, "my family's falling apart. I think my wife's gonna leave me. Like all kinds of stuff was going on." And then he goes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna control what I can control. And that's me on the court. I ended up with almost 40 points. They won the game, came back and won. And, the rest is history. Obviously, he healed his family. They came together. They never divorced. And they moved on. So, like, that one game kind of epitomizes, like, the Mamba mentality that we talked about. Control what you can't control and go hard with it. Whatever you can't control, don't worry about.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
I saw one that they talked about. He scored 62 points in 3 quarters
against Dallas.
And they asked him to go back in the game in the 4th quarter. And he was like, nah. They're like, go back in, get 70, go. And he was like, I'll get 70 when we need me. They said 3 or 4 weeks later, dude dropped 81 on Toronto. Like, just a Mamba mentality. Like, not a front runner, man. Like, I'll give you what you need. And I'll give you my all. But like, if it's not needed, I'm just not gonna be out there in garbage time or messing around. Like he was like, that's legit. Like 52, I'm going back in, bro. I'm getting 80. But be like, nah, I'll wait. I'll wait to what we need. You know what I mean? I'm just that mental part.
One thing that always stuck out to me was like his time management. He always put family first, but he still found a way to improve his craft by waking up earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to sacrifice something, and he sacrificed what was least important to him, which was like sleep, right? So I kind of take that mentality too. It's like, I want to spend more time with my kids, but I need things I need to do personally with my brand and everything. The only time I can do that is when they're asleep. So that's why I wake up early, and and I don't want to wake up early, but I literally think about Kobe. MJ is my favorite player of all time, but he didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Kobe said that. So when I don't want to wake up, I literally think about Kobe, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, let's go. So like I said, man, like for him to influence, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. For him to influence a non-Laker fan like the way how he has influenced me, that is like legendary to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in transition, the next moment right after that, probably like after the opening game, after he passed, like probably a couple weeks later, no, actually it's a couple months later, it was in March.
Yeah.
Lakers played the Milwaukee Bucks and the LA Clippers in the same weekend, right? For whatever reason, I ain't saying no conspiracy like that. I just knew we were going to win those games. And we did. March 9th happens, pandemic, league canceled. What were you guys' thoughts?
Man, wait, you know what? Honestly, I mean, we knew about COVID, earlier the year, but I don't think anyone, me personally, I didn't take it serious until the NBA stopped. Because to me, that's when the domino effect happened. When the league stopped, all the other sports stopped, and then the rest of the world, or at least our country, stopped. Right, I think that was like the beginning. NBA said nope, and after that, it was like a domino effect. So And I still remember that week, man. Like I used to have league games on Wednesdays, and then that last Wednesday game, our league game, I didn't want to touch anybody, right? Because the NBA had already canceled, and I'm like, man, this is serious. And I'm playing guys, and I'm like, I know it ain't here because it's just like we just closed, but like I don't want to touch these people. Like we don't know anything about it yet, right? So you know, and that was my last league game. And when that game was over, I told myself, and I told my wife too, I was like, that's gonna be my last league game for a while. It might be, maybe even ever. So, and that was back in March. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, COVID is just that. You know, that's when it got real to me when the NBA stopped.
Bro, that weekend when the Lakers beat the Bucks and the Clippers, like I was all hyped because I was like, okay, Shannon about to give it to Skip. Monday happened, they canceled the show. I was like, oh, come on. And then, like you said, the league shut down, right? My kids were still going to school, but I believe it was once the league, it was because it was during the Utah Jazz game when they rushed everybody out.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, well, my kids aren't going to school the next couple of days. I think it was Thursday and Friday. And we were all talking, and we were talking about the schools. I took my kids out. That Monday, they shut down the school here. And the district of Irvine shut down in here in Irvine. I was like, okay, this got to be real, right? Like, what's going? We don't know nothing about it, like you said earlier. So I took them out. And yeah, what was it 15-day lockdown to start with? Mm-hmm. Or was that just California? It was 15 days, and like 15 turning to 30 turning to 45.
But as far as school goes, I mean, you guys, Les Nacho, from a Central Cali school perspective, like when did you guys like have meetings and discuss like what's going on? What do we do?
Well, I mean, working at the school, no one knew it was going to be this long. Kind of like what Dre's talking about. Like, we were trying to plan ahead. We're dealing with graduation, trying to figure things out that year, how we're going to end the year, how we're going to get these kids back, trying to get the grades, academics, classes, assignments. So everything was kind of like on the fly. The good thing was the whole state and country was dealing with it. So everybody was working together. So you didn't feel bad. Like, you were getting information from everywhere, like LA Unified, San Diego Unified. Those are the biggest districts in our state. Whatever they do, people copy. So that's wrong. Like, LA's closing, we closing. LA got a plan. Let's see it. Modify it. Everybody was just trying to figure things out on the go. It was strange because everybody was worried about safety. So everything was just like distance learning.
Yeah,
be around people, no students. It was shocking, man, because for a while we still went to work, but it was hard to go to work. There was no kids, and it really, that's when I knew it was serious. Like, my job was like, I work with students every day, and now I'm going to work and there's no students.
Did you guys real talk? Did you guys believe in it, or were you guys one of the people like, no, this is fake?
I thought it was real, but I didn't take it seriously. Like, I was just like, it's a fluke. Like, I was inside. I abide by the rules, right? That was going on, but I wasn't like, I didn't feel like if I caught it that I was gonna die. Like, I didn't feel that at all.
I was the same way too. I was like, I asked same mentality as Andre, like, it's just a fluke, or they're blowing it out of proportion, like they always do the news and stuff. But I'm still gonna follow it. But I'm like, so I'm like, it'll pass, everybody says it'll pass, and it won't be as big of a deal with this whole COVID stuff. But I mean, look at us now. I mean, things didn't get handled the right way, so we're in this predicament.
Yeah, I think at first I thought it was a China thing. To be honest with you, I was like, how much are we really connected with China? Then I started looking into it, like, we travel a lot. Like, there's a lot of things in America that deal with China. People are constantly moving, and just to see how things can naturally spread. You start thinking about all those movies we watched from back in the day. Outbreak, man. Yeah. So you're like, people were comparing it to the swine flu and different things, and like, how serious was it? It was kind of hit or miss with us. I think it a little bit more serious just because my mom's like a cancer survivor. So she's always concerned about her health and her numbers, her red blood cells, white blood cells. So anything that hits the news, my mom's already on it. She still goes to UCLA for a checkup. So that was definitely something on her radar. So I'm always thinking of it for her. I'm kind of thinking like, I'm cool, but I want to make sure, my mom's okay. So I always kind of took that precaution with it. And then obviously we're dealing with an election. So, everybody, you just didn't know how things were going to pan out or what information to listen to. So it was hard, man. It was hard just because there was a lot of different information coming.
Right. Yeah, I think what made me change my mind. I think what made me change my mind a little bit was when I found out how highly contagious it is. Like even though, like you said, like Les said, even though we could be fine, like it is super contagious. Like you could be in the same room with somebody, and then like you touch a box and your hands are sweating, and then somebody else touches it, and they got it. Because, or not just they touch it, but they touch their other face or something. They got it.
Or their eye or whatever.
Yeah, it's extremely contagious, and I think that's where I was like, okay, now if I do something and an elderly person touches it, or an elderly person, water droplet hits them, then I could be, I'd feel bad for that person. Like if they got any, respiratory issues or whatever. Like it's super contagious, and that's the part that made me start taking it like somewhat seriously.
Same here, man. Like like I believed in it, but at the same time, I was like, well, they're gonna do this martial law, like all this conspiracy stuff, right? I was all into that too. But then I think when I started really taking it more serious when it hit home, like now you're starting to know people who got it. And now they're telling you, yeah, I did lose my taste. I did lose, my senses. Now, and I still remember when the very first person in Delano who got it, I don't know who he was, or somebody, but that one person got it, and everyone knew, hey, someone from Delano got it. Someone from Delano got it. I'm sure you guys knew about it, and
when the death happened, like in Kern County, like the first person that passed away in Kern County was from Delano, as a female too, because I seen it on the news. Yeah, the first like COVID death was from Delano, and it was a lady that lived here, and then she passed away from it, and that was like the first death confirmed. I was like, damn, like, and that kind of made me realize too, it is hitting home too. So like, you gotta really like now watch yourself and take care. I know all of us are dads. We don't want our kids. We're looking out for our kids now and stuff, but don't want to get infected and stuff like that. So. Yeah. That's how I kind of.
I know in Vegas they kind of opened up the gym a little early and people were balling. I wanted to go ball, but I was like, I don't know. Like if it was the college days, maybe I would go ball. No offense, I'll do it with my roommate. But I was like, now I was like, I don't want to bring it home, and then my kids get it because of me, because of my, just because I want to go play ball. Now they have it. You know what I'm saying? So like. Yeah, no, it's been kind of crazy. I'm sure we're all tired of it, but.
Hey, speaking of Vegas, when we went out there to go for the baptism,
yeah,
and I gotta paint the picture a little bit. We were at the park after the baptism. Yeah, we had a little reception, and Lisa and I were sitting to a table. Remember, we came from California, which is like pretty much been on a constant lockdown since it started. And like in Orange County is 3.5 million people, and LA County is like 20 million people. So like within the 80-mile radius, you got like almost 25 million people. So we go over to Vegas for the baptism, and me and Lisa are sitting at this table by ourselves, right? And we're kind of like sketched out. And Jay sees us. He's like, I know he already knew what was going on. And he was like, hey, you guys okay? I'm like, we're good. We're good. Kids were playing in the playground and stuff like that. Like nobody was tripping. It was like culture shock. We got back to California and went straight to the testing facility. We found out we were negative, and then we were like, dude, like it kind of made me go back to my original thought of, man, is this stuff being over exaggerated, or you know what I mean? Am I being like, I just didn't know what to expect, because it was a lot of people. And it wasn't just his party. It was like a bunch of other people that was at the playground playing. And kids were touching everything. Kids were like, kids, they rub their dude out, whatever. And so we all came back negative, and I was just like, man, like, I don't know, the truth lies somewhere in the middle, right? I believe it's real. You know what I mean? I don't want no elderly people to get it. If you got some, like respiratory issues, don't mess around. But like, if you're like in perfect health, not perfect, but like, if you got a good immune system, I believe to this day you'll be okay. That's just me. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, you're always going to have exceptions to the rules. Obviously, people pass away for a variety of different reasons that are very small numbers. I think, it clashed when people started having to close down businesses and economy stopped. But definitely, I mean, you have empathy because like people are like, oh, just the elderly. I'm like, we're not willing to sacrifice the elderly that quick, man. Like, my mom, my dad, my grandpa, my grandma. I ain't just trying to like just let the elderly just like we should move on without them. Like, nah. Not that simple, but yeah, definitely just want to try to like do our part. I think in the beginning we felt like we were like ahead of the curve here in California. They locked us down, so we won't be like New York.
Yeah.
I think we got like, hey, we're just locked down for too long. Like, let us free. and then now you start getting a lot of mixed emotions and different feelings.
I feel bad too because like being locked in too. Like my boys, like, oh, we're gonna go. Can we go to Las Vegas? Can we go to Circus? Or can we go to the movies? I'm like, oh no, sorry. And then we kind of like just told, well, no, right now we can. And Noah right away, oh, the coronavirus, right? And I go, yeah, so the coronavirus is out there, so it's all right, we'll wait for it to go away. So, I mean, he's aware too. I mean, we just want to, don't want him to get sick or anything like that.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, no, it was 5, right?
7.
7. My daughter's 10. The writer's 4. I mean, like these kids, they live with it. We wouldn't worry about that stuff when we were kids.
Yeah,
we were outside playing. They know about it. That's what's crazy. Yeah. They know about it. They're like, I feel you on that because Josiah's like, hey, can we go? Can we do this, do that? And I was like, oh, he actually the other day he was like, why do I still have to wear a mask? I was like, do I have to answer that? He's like, oh, because of the virus, right? And I'm like, yeah, like you're right. 5 years old and they know about. We were watching movies. We didn't know about stuff like this, and they're actually like living it. It's
yeah. I'll pull up to the store, right? I'll get out the truck. Keelan, your rider, Dad, your mask. like, oh yeah, my bad. It's crazy.
Josiah, the same thing. We go to the park. I'm like, take off your mask, man. It's just there's not a lot of people and there's kids there. And he was like, no, I don't want to get the virus. I gotta wear the mask. I was like, but you're gonna be running around. He's like, no, Dad, I don't. I'm like, oh, man, go ahead, wear the mask. It's just insane. Hey, I'm glad you didn't come to Vegas, Nacho, because if you guys would see, I mean, we all been to Vegas. Saturday night, that mug was a ghost town. It was like dead. Like it was just it was creepy dead. Like people were riding bikes in the middle of the street, like rollerblading and walking in the middle of the street, and it was just nobody was there, you know what I'm saying? But like cops and just people taking pictures and stuff. And like it was eerie. It was like scary. So if you would have came to Vegas, you'd have nothing to do.
Unless you're the Lakers and you win a championship, you figure it out.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you got to remember, we're all from Delano. Not you're the only one still living in Delano. So you would have been happy in Vegas, nothing to do, just to be out of Delano.
Hey, but I'm originally from Rich Grove, moved to Delano.
Hey, I don't know if you want to brag about that though.
I gotta stay where I'm from though.
Hey, you just downgrade yourself.
Take Nacho to a Wendy's or to an In-N-Out, he'll be excited. He's from Delano.
Hey, we got Jollibee. already. So it's all right.
Yeah, no, it's insane, man. I mean, it's still crazy, Now being in Hawaii, like Hawaii is like super safe, right? I mean, we were closed, and every day they post like, oh, a new case. It'll be like 1 or 2. that's how safe they were. Like we closed the state down, and now they open up the state, and now it's like they're kind of like, oh man, like now we're getting like 15, 20 cases a day now, and it's a big deal. But like when I was living in Vegas, it was like 100 new cases per day. You know what I'm saying? So to me, when I see that, when I'm like, oh, it's only 20 people per day, like we're still good.
Hey, you can't drive across the state line to Hawaii. Need a big oxygen tank.
But I understand why they make it a bigger deal here, because like lack of resources, man. I mean, like Hawaii is literally like 20 years behind in everything, right? Like, and our hospital. There's only one hospital in Maui, so like one. So people who live like 45 to an hour, something to get to the ER, it takes 45. Well, it takes 45 minutes for the ambulance to get over there, so they might as well just try to find a ride to come over here. But yeah, that's why people, a lot of people here, like locals in Hawaii, like even though the state's open, they don't want people to come because of the lack of resources they have. You know what I'm saying? Because they start thinking like, oh, we only have like 50 beds, right? But now we just lost 10 beds because 10 people from the mainland came, and now they're spreading it, and now we have to use our resources for these guys. So it's from looking at from Vegas and Hawaii, it's interesting and kind of crazy, man. 2020 has just been crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. Shoot, any bright spots? Shoot, you guys got to move to Hawaii.
No, I get it. I mean, 2020 has been crazy, but I know there's still a lot of things that we all have something to be grateful for and something to look forward to. Like, yeah, like you said, I mean, it brought us here. I mean, we didn't move to Hawaii to get away from the virus. You know what I'm saying?
Although that wouldn't have been a bad idea.
Yeah. We had other reasons why we moved to Maui, but just 2020 in general. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like 2020 has been emotionally and like it's been the most stressful year of my life, because of COVID and other personal situations with family and everything. But going through all that stress and coming out of it, it made me stronger, because now what I have looked forward to is like, okay, I know I went through all that, and I'm more prepared now for stressful situations, because comfort can be bad sometimes, right? I was comfortable in Vegas with the job and everything, and it's hard to go through changes in life, but the changes that I went through, not just moving, just other personal stuff, like it was just like a domino effect, bam, 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 bam. So to go through that many changes with the virus, the virus didn't make it any easier. I'm just looking forward to 2021, man, because I know, as a person, as a father, as a man, I'm stronger now. So, and I'm doing it here in Hawaii, so I can't complain.
Not at all. Like, yeah, I get that totally. Like, shoot, as a father, like I don't know, people have different priorities, but like protecting your family is like number one on mine. Like, if something happened to them, I wouldn't be able to come back from that. So like, we're having a virus, a pandemic, is forget like, kids getting into fights at school.
Yeah.
Talk about like a pandemic aspect of it, and trying to like you said, I mean, I became like a borderline doomsday prepper. Like I want generators, all that stuff, but you want to be prepared for any scenario, right? And nobody knew a pandemic was going to happen, but to come out of that, like unscathed, so to speak. Like, I mean, we're still alive, still moving, and to be prepped for 2021 in a better situation than you were in 2020. I think that's winning right there. Like, period.
No, definitely. I think 2020 is it was a time that we did get distance learning and got sent home. But I just try to look at everything as a positive, kind of talking about the whole Kobe thing, and just trying to realize like I'm never gonna get this time back. I was like basically on maternity leave. I got to be home with my kids. I got 3 under 5. My wife was able to work from home. We take walks around the block now. We got to hang out. We connect more with family. we talk a lot more. Obviously, with all the pandemic, everybody's dealing with anxiety, depression. So you're checking on people. And obviously, us, we always before we did this, we always have our text, always checking on each other, and that meant a lot. I think 2020 has given me that. Like that's something I want to build on. Just trying to use that as a positive moving forward. Obviously, the numbers and the people that lost their lives with COVID, the pandemic, and a lot of the other things that just happened this year, are definitely terrible things. Obviously, people got babies, raises, and jobs, and different things as well. So it's like it's a yin and yang kind of effect. But kind of like I said in the beginning with the whole Kobe thing, it's just like it's gonna be some tough days, but every day I wake up, man, that's a blessing. You can't complain. You got to get up, get moving. Tomorrow's never promised. God fearing man. Just trying to work with my family, make it better, and keep chipping away at it. It's that's one thing I do really really admire from Kobe. I always tell my wife like, this is life. She always laughs at me because I was like, you got to enjoy the process. You got to embrace the process. That's what Kobe always say.
Yeah.
And the dream is the process. So I was like, every day you wake up, even if it's hard, like you got to embrace that. Like getting up, co-signing the last gasser. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's go. One more. And like, she's like, why are you trying to pump yourself up? I'm like, man, we do it in sports. And that's why I love sports so much. Like you can bring that to life. Like you're down 21 points. Going to the fourth quarter, you can't quit. You still got a ball. Try to get it down. Like, it's I think like 2020 was a hard year, but it's not going to break us. The ones that passed definitely will learn. They'd want us to continue to move on, never forget them, learn from that. But we as people, you know what I mean? I think I learned empathy a lot too. Empathy for others, try to understand other people, even though you can agree to disagree. So there's a lot of good things that came out of it that helped us grow mentally,
Yeah. Me too. Like it was hard on me too because it was just hard just staying home. But I mean, like you said, we get to grow and be with our family. I have 3 boys. Hanging out here with them and stuff. And at some point, I just felt like kind of depressed too. I'm like, man, like, but we can't even do anything. Like, can't even go to the park. Can't even go hang out with friends and stuff like that. So. I mean, like you guys said, we just, just get through it, push through it. And, that's what I'm going to look forward to too, just keep moving on and don't look back, look forward and just look forward to 2021, so, and just set those goals that come.
Definitely, man. I mean, like, I think everything happens for a reason. I think, like you said, Les, it's unfortunate for the people who lost their jobs and lives, but for the people who are still here, I think it made all of us stronger in some way. I mean, like I said, 2020 was hard on me emotionally. Like I went through a depression. I don't show things like that, but like, I'll say it, because sometimes to get over depression, you have to. It's like an addiction, right? You have to admit your addiction. I went through a depression, and it was hard, man. I mean, like it was, my wife was there for me and everything, but it 2020 also helped my patience. I went through a depression because I didn't have enough patience. I didn't have enough patience for a lot of things, like just everything from my career, being a father, husband, that comfort zone. I lost my, I was too comfortable and everything came to me too easy, So when I went through these trials and tribulations, I had to find my way and learn to be more patient. So, being patient with everything, not only just with people I don't know, but being patient with my family. That's what I'm taking out of 2020. So, but yeah, it's crazy, man. Hey, real talk. Did you guys buy extra toilet paper?
Nah, I missed the first boat. I was out. I switched to.
Mom's gonna give me some.
I switched to. I'll switch to those wipes. I ain't going back to toilet paper. Just be real with you.
I don't know why that was. I mean, I'm mad, dude. Like it was such an emergency. Like I really needed toilet paper, and there was no toilet paper. Like I needed wipes for my kids, and people were buying wipes too. And I'm like, Man, like so many people don't even have kids and they're just buying wipes, right? And then they're selling it on wherever Amazon for like $300, right? And people buying it like that was insane. Like that was crazy.
That was crazy. You couldn't find toilet paper. Toilet paper was like gold.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Like there's enough toilet paper for everybody, but everybody was just stocking up. Like it was kind of one of those, I don't know, it's like an old proverb, right? Like if everybody just gets what they need, there's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
But we're like, we want what we need and more.
Hey, this is how full of crap people are. Like toilet paper was out, but the whole multivitamin cabinet was full. Like you go to Costco, vitamins and all that stuff was like stacked.
You know what I'm saying?
But toilet paper gone. It's like, really? Like, come on.
Hand sanitizer was gone, bro. Like I had to go. Like I did want hand sanitizer. I went. It was the only hand sanitizer I could find. I had to go to Bed Body and Bath, whatever it's called, and they have those little packets. I had to buy like the ones that smell. I have like fragrance hand sanitizer. The little tiny packs for like $13. I had to buy like 4 of them just to keep in my car because I was late to the game, and I was like, man, this is insane, man. Like this is crazy.
Yeah. Nah, it's hand sanitizer, wipes, and even Costco, man. I got little ones diapers, like you said. They were snatching up diapers, man.
It was
I think God I have too many like little ones like that. Like going through pandemic, I flip out.
Hey, 2020 got my kids potty trained. I was like, listen here.
You ain't got no choice. You ain't got no choice.
Just have the mop ready, the mop and the water ready, Les. There it is.
I had a couple of coworkers. They went to cloth diapers. I can't do it. I seen those diapers. They need to get thrown away.
Yeah, man. It was. I mean, it's almost over. 2021 is around the corner, so that's good.
If they were trying to get rid of the elderly with that coronavirus, they messed up because there's gonna be a whole new generation coming out 2020.
Yeah,
that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, no, definitely.
All kind of new babies. Starting with Nacho and his girl.
Starting with Andre, I heard you're already planning.
Hey, I got a doctor's appointment for the 18th for a vasectomy.
You lying?
A real talk. It's a consultation.
Nacho, you the only one.
Hey, they ain't official yet. It ain't finished. It's a consultation.
Exactly. See, you still in the game though. You still in the game.
Hey, y'all try and have another one. Trust me.
Hey, Nacho, I'm team girl, man. Go ahead and do that.
I'm good already.
Hey, Danny blew out her birthday candles. It was like team girl. I had one wish, Nacho. She had one wish.
Nah. We done. We're done.
You're done, Nacho?
Yeah. Well, I gotta get.
You know what they say.
From me too, Les.
Well, I would believe you're done. But when I saw your minivan, and I still see the room for 2 more seats in the back.
I got no minivan. It's reverse.
I was like, that's not minivan.
Hey, when the door opens and when it slides, it's a minivan, bro. It's
I know. I don't got no sliding door. That opens from left to right.
Hey, I'm out the game. I don't know about y'all, but
no, I'm done.
Surprised, man. I won't be surprised.
So you guys want to so we kind of decided to have a thing called a homie review for every show. We've been doing this homie review for how long? Like over 10 years. Maybe even longer than that. So basically, a home review is just our reviews on movies that we've seen or shows that we're watching or movies that we want to watch. So let's go into that real quick. So any homie review you guys want to talk about?
One second. Since this is going on YouTube, don't forget to drop some shows in the comment section. Drop some good shows in the comment section.
Yeah.
So,
drop shows, drop whatever you guys want to say in the comment section. Let us know.
we do look at them. Comments are life.
Good or bad.
Right. Be real.
Now, the Coming to America 2 is coming out. I mean, that was dope when you said that.
Yeah, that was gonna be good.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm nervous though because one is legendary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it obviously it wasn't legendary the day it came out, but it became legendary over the past 30 years.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that this one's pretty good too. They obviously kept a lot of the original cast, so I'm happy about that. Man, I hope it's good. Wonder Woman 1984 comes out in 2 days.
I'll be on that too. I'll be on that.
I'm excited about that one.
I'm still waiting on that Top Gun too.
Yeah,
yeah. all these Marvel movies that's coming out. What was the last movie you guys watched?
Oh, matter of fact, the theater here was open for a brief second. I took Keelan to go watch New Mutants, and we were like the only one in the entire theater except like the workers. So, like we were all laid out in the seats, you know what I mean? But it was kind of a weird experience, but actually it was kind of cool too at the same time.
Yeah.
Nobody in that mud. Like concession stand was nobody. It was just the workers. We walked up.
You reached over in the concession stand, got something for free.
Usually you're waiting forever at the concession stand line, but man, it was. Well, I mean, I never get up during the movie to go get something. I was like, I'll be back.
Someone in line. Hey, say by the theaters though. That's my prediction. Theaters are gone. Like every
yeah, man, it's going towards that route. It's sad because I love movie theaters.
Everything, you know what? And I was saying, like all these major movie productions, they're going to start making their own apps. I'm calling it out here. Like there's going to be an app for every. Now you got to download the Universal app or whatever app, like whatever, to watch this movie, you got to download this app. Right. So not everything's going to be on Amazon Prime or Netflix. They're going to start making their own apps and you're going to have to start paying yearly for it to watch these movies.
Hey, did you see what Disney tried to charge to watch Mulan?
They did.
$30 to watch Mulan.
$30.
I was like, y'all tripping.
It's going to be like that. Like
that was nuts. $30. I mean, pay-per-view was like what, $5 for a movie? I mean, like $30. That was crazy. But they did. I think they said they dropped like $200 million on it to make it, so they were trying to like recoup some of that back.
Yeah. It wasn't that good though. I watched it. It wasn't that good. It was like decent.
To be honest, did you pay for it?
No, I got it for free.
Come on, Nacho. He's still complaining. Right, still complaining.
It
was all right. I got it for free.
Hey, I got a review. Giving you guys a review, right?
It's for the kids, not just for the kids.
I watched this show called Monarca on Netflix. It's pretty cool. Like it deals with like family, like greed and stuff like that. But there's
stand by the gate.
Hey, I'm by the window. Look, it's right there.
This is real and raw when we lose Wi-Fi. So hey, by the way, I'm recording again. So. Yeah,
my internet been acting up. I don't know what's up. I was like, dang.
Hey, what were some of the first shows you guys watched during when the lockdown happened? I watched Money Heist. It was like 4 seasons long.
Oh, that one, yeah, that's the one I binged on for
We went to watch what's that one? But the lake. They make it on the last season right now. Man,
is it Ozark?
Ozark, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. Season 3 that just came out, right? Ozark.
Yeah.
That show.
Oh, good. I was trying to watch it with my family, but I didn't know what it was. And then it opened up to see. I put everybody to bed. Hey. Michael was like, "Hey, you still gonna watch it?" I'm like, "Well, it is good, Not good for y'all, but it's still a good movie."
Right. But how about that number one movie during the pandemic, The Last Dance? Come on now.
It was good. I watched it. It was good.
Yeah. Hey,
they were like basketball.
They were smart. They put it out when there was nothing else to watch. So everyone watched it.
Yeah, no, that wasn't Day. That was MJ. Scotty called him out on that. MJ, he controls all that.
That was a business move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about The Last Dance, Nacho, your favorite movie.
Oh yeah, The Last Dance. That one.
Is that the one with that with that black dude and Julia Stiles?
Yeah, that's lots of things. The Last Dance.
What talking
about? Why you hating? Why you hating on the GOAT?
I don't watch dance movies.
Don't lie, you know you
Not my genre, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta let it go, Nacho.
Hey, like me and JP still see MJ.
Playing live. I don't know what you guys talking
We're
about.
playing live.
You watching that NBA classic of Hardwood.
Not even in high def, looking like that was rough.
You don't need high def to see greatness.
You mean the push off?
You know he's gonna fade away. It don't matter.
Russell still wants that call. He's a push off, man. He pushed me off.
Right.
All right, man. Hey, anything else you guys want to mention before we cut this off?
Oh.
It's almost been an hour.
Speaking of leaving comments, hit that like button and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. You get notified every time we drop a video.
Yeah, definitely. And let us know. Let us know. I mean, if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, you know, most of you guys will probably follow us on social media. So, you know, hit us up, shoot us a DM, give us some ideas, some stuff you guys, anything about Delano or sports. Next time we'll probably talk more about NBA and how it was nice to see LeBron win his last championship and everything.
That's right.
We'll be saying that for the next 3 years.
I'm telling you,
Not
man.
with Vegas.
Man,
When you look at Vegas is actually saying he's gonna win another.
I don't know about Vegas. That's why I left. Vegas ain't always right. I mean, come on, man. You got the Raiders over there. You gonna trust the town that got the Raiders? Come on.
Oh man.
All right, man. Shoot, I gotta go. It's getting a little late. This was a good first episode. I appreciate everyone who watched.
Yeah, definitely. Look for us. What day are we posting this? When are we posting this?
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
As soon as dropping once a week though, so don't.
Yeah. So, all right, fellas. Appreciate it, man. Thank you, everyone.
All right, man.
You guys have a good night, everybody.